That was sublime, and now we're in the ridiculous. I'm going to be doing stupid human tricks as requested by Dan Pearson. I had gone to, as part of my research, I've been looking at Kazushi from the fairly simple to the fairly exotic over the past many years. And that has led to looking into what's been called in the martial arts internal power. And internal power is something that even Carl touched upon on occasion, very briefly, and that is now being purveyed by a few notable people, one of which is a fellow named Dan Harden. I am not a great internal power guy. I'll put that out there first. This is not something I'm an expert at all. I am somebody who's experienced a bit of it and can replicate a few of the effects and can generally describe the theory. So I'm going to try to do an introductory idea of what's going on and how he's describing it and how it makes sense to me. But yeah, don't confuse me for a competent person at this. I'm not a good example of it. If you want a competent person, I can point you at some, you know. Howard Popkin, for instance, is quite competent. Dan Harden is quite competent. And they can not only do it under duress, but do it spontaneously and do it very effectively from all sorts of circumstances. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about something that, well, here, we'll just start with a dumb key trick. 1984 or so, Carl came to Oklahoma City and he taught us the silly trick where you sit on your knees, you do the seiza thing, which I really detest sitting in seiza anymore, but I'll sit in seiza anyway. And then you have a partner come up and push you on the shoulders and knock you over. Who wants to be my partner? Push me on my shoulders, knock me over. Oh, mean old Brian, he always likes to knock me over. And so, obviously, his structure is such that if I'm sitting here and he wants to drive me over backwards, I don't have a whole lot to go against that. And Carl said, what we need is to create a vector so that as a force is encountering our posture and he begins to apply force this way, we're going to take two fingers, put them up under his forearms, and fairly lightly, not a whole lot of pressure, we're going to change the line of his force so that now when he's pushing me, I'm feeling it in my feet, which again I don't like because damn it, this is seiza and I don't like it. All right? So I've modified it. I'm going to sit on my ass. Okay. And he's going to come and push me over, and we have the same structural problem. He can knock my ass over, obviously. But again, if we create a vector, he has a hard time doing that. And it's not that you want to do that forever. It's that you want to do that momentarily to affect his inability to change your structure. You're going to feed it back to him. So it would go to some type of throw. You don't have to make it martial and do a throw with it, but be aware that that's what's going on here. So the first little exercise, sit however you like. You can sit this way, you can sit on your knees, I don't really care. And just do this dumb exercise. See how lightly you have to create the change, because all that's happening is that when he's pushing here and he's creating this line that goes this way, right? And we give him this up direction, that it changes his line of force down into my body. It's going down toward my spine in this case. Cool? And once you understand that vectoring, then you learn to do it in a more subtle way, and that'll come next. Cool? But just do this dumb thing first. So get a partner and do the dumb thing. All right? Cool. Stupid human tricks. We'll do lots of these. Get a partner, try it out. You can sit in a chair if you like. It doesn't matter too much. What's that? Yeah.
I think what I saw happening was that as he's pushing here, that you're not just doing this, but you're letting it kind of affect you. Is that the same what I think I saw?
Well, I wasn't trying to add any spinal thing. I might have been, but I wasn't trying to.
I thought I saw you use
If I am doing it well, this will be very, very little. You won't have any big effect. Okay. When they're doing it well, you can't hardly see it.
Okay, so
is
this enough pressure?
Yeah, you can push. Okay. You can push like a serious push. If you're into my structure, pressure and you're pushing me over.
Okay.
Boom.
Here we go.
And it's knocking me backward.
Okay.
Successfully doing that job.
Yes.
And then we do this. Keep pushing. Push hard. Push, push, push. Going into my feet.
Feel it now.
Yeah. So as I'm delivering force this way to knock your ass over, come up
That
and
went to my heel.
yeah. Before it gets to your heel. Now, up, up, up. A little more.
I need you to push.
Little more. Little more. Little. There you go.
There. Yes.
And it's actually vaulting.
so cool.
Right. Cool. So that's the first part. Is everybody did it? Just see around? You tried it? Get your partner, try it. We're creating a vector. It's very simple. The pressure should not be too heavy.
I have to explore the steering here.
The pressure should not be too heavy. It's a fairly light pressure. If you will, put your fingers sideways instead of straight up. If you're pushing straight up, you can add too much force. Do it lighter. Push it sideways.
You want to just do stand?
Yeah, let Uke stand up and really drive your ass over. There you go. Good. When it's right, it'll go to your feet. You'll feel it pressurize your feet. Good. Okie dokie. So we've successfully created a vector. Did you? Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Created many vectors.
Now, he had another example of this. Come here, Brad. Brad makes a fist. He puts it on my chin. He drives my head back. Oh, shit. He's knocking my head back. Okay? And again, Carl said, well, we can create a vector. Let's put my finger outside on this thing, and as he pushes, go ahead, I release it. And look where his hand went. Now, I didn't pull it. He feels like he's pushing this way, and indeed he is. When my finger comes up and starts applying this pressure, he's actually pushing in a line over my ear. But he still feels like he's going this way. So we're confusing his nervous system about where the line of energy is, actually, and we're creating a little vector that does that to him. And we've seen this before, yeah, a lot of us, yeah. No big thing. Cool. After a while, something Chuck noticed and a few other people noticed, which is an ancillary to this. If I get the pressure just right, oddly enough, I can take my chin away, and he still thinks he's pushing that way. And I can come back and put it back. He's still, and
I'm pushing.
And he's still pushing. And you can basically replace this pressure with this pressure if you equalize it. Big deal. Big deal. If you start getting into the sticky effects that happen for the internal power part, regulating that kind of pressure is part of the thing. So you want to replicate that too. Put the pressure on it, release it, watch where the hand goes. Pressure on it, release it, watch where the hand goes. After a while, put the pressure on it. See if you can get this equal to that. And when you get into a close enough proximity of those two pressure ranges, you can probably take your chin away. And he still feels like he's going that way, but he's doing it entirely that way. Okie doke? Try those two. Try those two. Experiential, stupid human tricks. Come on.
Smart.
I'm trying to remember what I wrote down.
Okay. It's very strange.
Yeah. Sweet. Sweet. Everybody ought to be able to make it pop off their chin. You may or may not get the effect where you can change the point. Yeah. Once it equalizes, their nervous system just reads pressure as the same.
I'll let off.
Yeah. 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 I'm still going that way, but isn't that weird? Trippy. All righty. And do it with your fist, please. We want a surface that'll slide. If you put your palm on their face and you do it, I can still grab your face. So it's, yeah. All right. So that's all cool. Everybody done that one some? A little bit? Okay. Years later, Carl went at a Houston clinic, and I don't recall the date, and did a few more. One of which was tug of war. Here I am with my big guy. I'm a big guy. I'm still bigger than you, but yeah, we're going to get your feet on the line. I'm going to get my feet on the line. And he's pulling back, and I'm pulling back, and we are in a state of tension. We are creating tension, right? And the bigger tension wins. Ha ha. Okay, no big thing there. But let's say that Brad, being a sneaky fella, moves slightly off the line, maybe by 2-3 degrees off. Yeah, very small, maybe smaller than that even. So we're on a tightrope here together, and we're pulling like some bitch. And he just shifts slightly off, and oh, very inefficient for me. And if I got a moose-sized person, it's a dumb illustration for me to do it because I'm bigger. But yeah, if I get moose, I could get Jay. Come here, Jay. Now we're getting closer. I still got you, I think, but here we are. Like we're on a tightrope. Cool. Pull. Yeah, he's got me. He's strong. Good. Okay. Pull. Ha ha. And I went kind of big. You don't have to be that big. Okie doke. So you want to experience that one as well. Just the structural relationship of being slightly offline. And see how small. So you do it back to me now. So you get slightly offline. Yeah, even smaller. See what happens. Yeah, good. Good.
That's pretty small.
That's pretty small. From square on the line to just off. Just off.
Wait a minute.
I know. Ha ha ha. Okay? So try that one too. Try that one too. Very simple. Small change in directionality.
It's an old Carl guy's trick.
Yeah. He taught some of this stuff. It just not very often.
Yeah, I know. He like to save it up.
Yeah. See how small a change it takes to create the vector superior to the other line. Yeah, see how little it takes. Good. All righty. Like a tightrope, everybody's on the same line. Both feet. Both feet. Try to be a tightrope with each other. You're on a tightrope, one line. Pretty good. Here, let's get on a tightrope. We're both on a tightrope. Get your foot fore and aft exactly with one line. There we go. Go ahead. Now shift just slightly. Fuck yeah. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Start on a tightrope. Good. See if you can do it smaller.
A toe and a half.
Yeah, it's worse than that. We'll get there.
It's worse than that.
Is good. Yeah, this is a great example. You're doing it to him, right? Cool. Too big, smaller, smaller. And it can be either side. Just, there you go. Good. Good, 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 good. Cool? All good? All good? Cool. Okie dokie. So, fun with vectors. They've all been big, obvious changes to create different vectors. The only big difference between any of this and what you see these high-level internal power people doing is they do the same tricks, but they don't seem to move. And how they pull that off has to do with learning to control mechanisms in their body that all of us have going all the time that we tend to only use unconsciously. And a lot of what's happening is that they have learned to do it consciously. And then they've done it so often that it becomes like their new default setting. So it's on all the time. Just like when we first start learning Kihons or walking, and eventually it becomes just standard. Same thing for this sort of internal exercise. Now what's going on inside the body to do that trick is that you're creating the same kind of vectors, but you're doing it by manipulating particular tissues that are in particular layers of your myofascial system. And like when I first encountered this, I noticed I was really dedicated to Aikido for the first 5-6 months or so. I was up to about a green belt or so. And we had an old judo guy come in who wanted to do Aikido with us, a guy named Dave Wire. Some of you might know him. And Dave Wire was coming in to do Aikido with us, and he had been doing judo since before I was born. And so here he comes. He's going to learn Aikido, and I'm doing my balance breaks. I'm doing Kazushi. I'm going to do Kazushi on this guy. And everybody else, you do Kazushi on the guy. Come here, hit me in the nose. Yeah, whoever. It doesn't matter. And you, boom, and wow, look at that cool thing. It gets all like that. I do it to Dave Wire. I'm going to be the uke. You knock me over. Yeah? So? It's like, damn it, Dave, you're a lousy uke. No. He's a resilient recoverer of balance on an unconscious level. And if you grapple enough, and you do enough ukemi, and you grapple on the floor and standing up enough over a period of time, your nervous system will just start doing stuff. And all these mechanisms that they bring into conscious control, unconsciously in great grapplers, they do a whole lot of it all just automatic. They don't even think about it. They do parts of it. There are specialized effects that go along with this body of work that do require some conscious control and do require some dedicated effort and practice. But if you're just a grappling person and you do a lot of grappling for a long period of time, it'll just happen. You'll just be a resilient thing, and it's hard to throw your ass. And you don't have to be trying. You're just standing there like, so that's internal power too. That's internal power too. What Moose was describing in terms of ukemi and the way the hydrostatic shock of hitting the ground repeatedly and what your internal anatomy has to do to strengthen itself over a long period of time, that's all internal power stuff too. So you find a lot of people in the martial arts world who are striking arts oriented, for instance, and they find this stuff ridiculously hard to translate into their body understanding, and they have to work real hard. You see them standing like this a lot, working their ass off for hours at times, because they're trying to get into a groove that if they did a lot of ukemi, they'd probably get there too. But, you know, nobody wants to do a lot of ukemi except judo people. They're insane. So, how do we translate? Let's take the first exercise. I'm going to go back to sitting on the ground. Joe, come over here. Push me. Push me over. I'll do it the right way first. Fucking knees. Okay. Pushes me over. Boom. Prove that you can push me over. That's great. This time, I'm interested in making a vector. The same vector with a fairly similar amount of power that my two fingers could exert on him this way. But I'm going to do it at the point of contact, and I'm going to do it through stretching up through the spine. So if you notice when you put your fingers on them, you don't have to lift very high or very hard for this to happen. Well, the same is true if you elongate from your tailbone to the top of your head, not pulling with the muscle so much, but pulling with the internal postural stuff, the deep stuff. And I can point at it on the charts, but it's mainly this stretching up, and as you're stretching up to a point right there on the top of your head, and it's going all the way to your tailbone, and it's one big elastic band, one big rubber band that you're just pulling taut, okay? As or about the time that he puts his hands on me, or just before, I've done that. And you get this kind of effect. Same vaulting effect, no hands. And so you take this very obvious vectoring idea and you translate it back to the surface of your skin. Now, you could approach it this way. If you have trouble, if you can do this automatically, great. Go ahead and do it just like I did. If you have trouble with it, go back and start where it's easy and then work progressively tighter to your surface and see what this elongation of the spine in the central core of your body has as an effect on his push gradually, okay? And if you want to not sit on your knees, I don't blame you. I prefer it like this generally. Go ahead. I went up. I did this. I just did it. And the guys that do it really well, you can't even see it hardly. Damn, it's tiny. They're sneaky bastards. Why the hell would you spend time learning to do this sneaky thing? It's a good question. Tomiki thought it was probably a waste of time in the modern world. He was asked about these effects and he said, well, you learn this weird sort of way of working with your body that Ueshiba would do lots of tricks with. And it's largely built around muscle control and internal kind of, what's the word? Isometrical contractions. He said you learn to work with your body in these particular ways, but it was something that if it was a world in which we're all grappling with each other in hand-to-hand combat and it's life or death, you want every little inch you can get of advantage over the guy, it's probably worth the time and energy to invest in that sort of inch. He said in the modern world, teaching a bunch of college kids at Waseda University, probably not necessary. Do the normal thing. Just get out of the way. Just go like that, you know. That's sufficiently amazing. So he kind of eschewed it. Said, no, it's not really worth all the time and attention. And he's right. It's probably true. But if you're a madman and you do way too much of this stuff to begin with and you're just fascinated with weird, stupid human tricks, it's pretty cool. And it can translate into combative ability. I can attest to that. Cool? So try this one with the fingers and then take the fingers out of it. See what that's like. Okay? Try it out. Oh, partners. I am not in a contest with Joe. Go ahead and get that. My job is not to, can't do it to me. Can't do it to me. My job is to act like a weight training device. My job is to give him success and then gradually, incrementally make it tougher on him. Cool? So don't get confused about, oh, you can prove you can overcome it. We know you can. What we're trying to do is develop a mode of building up a capacity from ground zero. Cool? Try it out. Thank you. Thank you. Good. So you can get that straight up through the top of the spine, out the top of the head.
Start from the base.
Yeah? They should feel a fairly immediate vault. Good. 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 Yeah. Give him a steady force rather than an impact force at the start. Just put it your hands and then steadily push. There you go. You'll be able to feel it more readily. Good. Can I feel? Yeah, that's good. You got it. Cool. Cool, cool. Cool. Yeah, and you could throw them if you want. Sure. Cool. See your head going down? Yeah. You want to come up right from this point.
Okay.
Right about here. Up, 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 stretch up, up, up. There you go. Yeah. Hey, man.
That would also apply the same power when you do, say, like Wakikitami.
Yeah.
You bring it up from the ground, and then here's the thing, and then you rotate the shoulder. It's not what you got here. This ain't nothing.
Right. It's what's happening back in this part.
This right here.
Right.
Rotate them shoulders forward, and all that energy came up here.
Sure.
To there is power.
Amen. It's very, very powerful. Everything's coming out of, and the guys that are the sneakiest, you don't even see shoulders. It's happening here and here. In fact, to see some of it, they just say, here, come put your hands here. And you feel it because you can't even see this shit. I do shoulders too much, and it's like, oh, no, I can see it. Tricky. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Come right up to this point right here. Up, 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 up. Yeah. Try not to. Yeah.
It's the breath.
What's that?
The breath.
The breath gets into it. They call it kokuwaza sometimes.
Exhale.
The in-breath and the exhale. The rise and the fall. You sure can tie it to breath. The Daito guys don't tie it to breath so much, but you can. Yeah, sweet. Sweet. It's very small. Okie dokie.
Yeah, when we're breathing, sometimes that's changing us.
What's that?
Like when I'm breathing out, that pushes me back.
Right. You don't want to be breathing big at all. Breathe very small. If you don't want the breath to interfere, my breath becomes basically subtle.
I'm already on one foot.
I'm breathing real light.
Yeah, I'm on one.
I'm not. If the breath is big enough to cause an oscillation, then you can take advantage of it.
Okay.
If I keep it kind of quiet,
Yeah, I'm on one foot.
then yeah, I can just be here. Cool? Okay. So you can do it with breath. You can say, hey, I want to rise up.
Yeah.
But now I got to exhale. And he'll follow me. Right. Sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, everything's going down on exhale. Everything's going in on up. Right. What's that? To some degree. To go backward. Yeah. Right.
What about the knees pulling forward?
We're about to get there. We're about to get there. Okie dokie. Everybody have a little success with that? Anybody not get it to work okay? It's a weird skill. It's a weird skill to build up. Let's do tug of war again. Come here, Moose. So we're standing on we're on a tightrope here.
Right, like this.
Yeah. We'll get this way, okay? Cool. And we're tug of warring each other. Oh, I lose, I can tell already. And we did this before. We went, okay. But still, big. Now we say, he only moved a little bit. A little bit is still noticeable. The guys that are good at this, actually, they just change the line of the elbow. So he has this straight line, I'm on a straight line, he's on a straight line, we're in a pulling relationship, and obviously everything cool, but his elbow takes it a tick off of his center line. Goes that way. Go ahead and pull. Ooh. We get the same effect, very, very, very small. And you can replicate it real easy. You just gotta say, hey, gotcha. Boom, boom. It's very small. Try it. Try it. Easy, cheesy one. It's still big. We'll make it smaller from there. And see how little your elbow has to go offline to screw them up. How little? What's that? Oh yeah. If you move your feet, that's right. Try to do it.
Just completely collapsed.
So he's pulling, I'm pulling. Come on, get me. Oh, good. He's got me. Good. Right. It's just little canting over. Cool. Righteous. Yeah. Very good.
Nice. Okay, my turn.
Yeah, smaller.
Smaller. Really?
We're pulling.
Really?
Pretty good. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna pull you.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
About like that.
Oh, gosh.
So it's a straight line to my center.
5 degrees, maybe?
Right, it's very, very small. And then it's not. Yeah? You're attempting to do this in such a way that they can't see it at all.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay?
I can't.
Visually it's gone.
Does this work with a rope?
What's that?
Does this work with a rope?
With a rope, it can. Yeah, you can do it with a rope as well. I've seen it done that way. And with a stick.
So I'm now the world's greatest tug of war.
You can tug of war, man. You can smoke them in tug of war now. Like I said, stupid human tricks. Yeah. That's right. All right, next stupid human trick. Here we go. We're going to translate that sitting down thing we did with lifting and all. We're going to be standing up now, which now gets us into our whole posture from our feet to the top of our head. And getting ourselves into that posture in a way that I never understood for many, many, many years in training. Because I have lousy posture. I've got kyphosis in the upper back, and I've got this hunched posture. I walk around with my neck sticking out like this, and I've got all this funky posture, and people said, stand up straight, damn it. And every time I heard that, I would engage these muscles in my upper back, and I would put belly in and pull, and I could stay there for 10 minutes maybe, and then it would hurt, and my nervous system would say, screw this, and I'd go back to normal Gomer Pyle, neck sticking out, all that stuff. Well, I was engaged in the wrong structures. In Zazen, what you learn, because they yell at you about posture there too, but you learn to do that stretching thing from this point down to the tailbone again, and you're working with a completely different part of your anatomy. You're not engaging the big muscles, consciously pulling. You're actually stretching up through this stuff right here, from the back of the head all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. So when we're standing up and we're about to undergo load in ways that are impossible to do normally, we're going to undergo load with our feet square. We're going to keep our feet completely on the floor, so we're not balls of the feet. We're not trying to get on a part of the foot. We'd like actually the big toe, the little toe, and the heel to all have a little contact for this stuff. Special applications. We'd like our partner to come and knock our ass over. Just push me. So we've proven he can overcome this dumb condition, yeah. Then we're going to do two things. The first thing is we're stretching up, but this time not just from the base of the spine. I want you to stretch up all the way from underneath your feet. Imagine it from underneath your feet up to the top of the head to this point right here. And at the same time that you're going up, your knees pull forward. Now normally, when your knees bend, you go down, right? So it's like when you're a kid and they put the mark on the wall, right? You're going to go down, but you're going to stretch up simultaneously. And as the knees pull forward, you'd like to stay at the same height. So you're creating a state of internal tension between up and down. Okie doke. Postural muscles stretching up, knees pulling forward. If you think about knees bending or squatting, you're going to go down more. It's only enough forward that you can compensate with the spinal process and the core stuff going up at the same time. And as that happens, he gets on it, and my feet are square, his hands are here, and I'm trying to resist it, he knocks my ass over on my heels, obviously. Hold on, let me do my thing. I suck at this, like I said, he's ready to kill me. Up and down, I got to get up and down, I got to get knees forward, go ahead. I turned, I made a big thing. Just get pressure on it. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I failed. I pushed back on him. I'm going to my heels. Okay, let's try. Good, there we go. I got him that time. You'll experience failure. You'll experience plenty of failure. And over time, it just becomes more unconscious. He can push from the side. And the same effect is happening if I'm pulling this way with this leg. rather than pushing that way with this leg. The way you test this part is that if I am actually overcoming him with my default setting, which is to lean on him, and he lets go suddenly, oh, there's a recovery. When I'm doing this well, I start pulling this way with the knees going down and the stretch going up, go ahead, and he lets go. Shouldn't be any big thing. Same thing fore and aft. Oh, he got me. Stretch up, down, knees pull forward. Yeah, he lets go. Nothing happening on my side. A lot happening. Nothing forcing a recovery of balance on my side. Cool? And you'll experience failure. It's okay. Just have him start light. Lighten up. Good. Try now. Yeah. It's like good luck, buddy. Nothing. A little heavier. Yeah? Yeah. You can lean forward. There you go. Good. 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 Cool. Try it. It's the same thing we just did on our knees or sitting down, but it's more of our anatomy we got to learn to control. We got to control from the feet all the way up. The goal is for that vector to be felt in your feet. As I press on him, I got him. Up, down, knees. Too much pushing. Up, down, knees. Less. Okay. See if you can lessen it. Better. Better. Cool. Work with your partner. Help them dial it in. It ain't easy. This one ain't easy. Go ahead. Try it. Up and down. Knees forward. Same time. Yeah.
Practicing this on the side. Mm-hmm. Do it on the side. I'm better on the side.
When you're sideways, you're pulling primarily from the front leg, from this leg. Pulling that way. In this case, this way, because he's pushing that way. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's hard. It ain't easy, man. This is why Tomik's is probably a waste of time for the modern world. Because, yeah, it's cool shit. It's cool shit. But it does take a little work. It doesn't take that much. My buddy Howard, who's quite accomplished at it, does, after his initial learning phase, he does about 5 minutes a day. It doesn't take that long to keep it working. Yeah. But he does it every day. Yeah. Yeah. Pull the knees forward. Don't think about bending the knees to go down. Think about pulling them forward. You're leaning. You're leaning. He can let go and you'll fall forward. Don't lean. Don't lean. He's still leaning. You're still leaning. Don't lean.
I didn't see it because we like
It's weird shit, huh?
Yeah, it's impossible.
It can't exist. If you're doing default normal human stuff, I lean on him, he leans on me. It doesn't exist. It only exists with this weird change in architecture, which is because it's like we're right now a flying buttress, right? But if instead of a flying buttress, he's still a flying buttress, but I'm like one of those radio towers with those big wires going down. And the structure that's dealing with this is actually pulling forward down under him by pulling under instead of pushing from back here. You get a whole different effect. In fact, he tends to vault. He tends to go up automatically the more it pulls under. If I'm pressing him and he's pulling under me with his knees, he gets a rise and he comes under. Like a here comes Koji from hell kind of thing.
It's still impossible.
It is. It is. The Chinese art dudes do it and everybody goes, fuck, it's some kind of goddamn goofy trick. You know?
Well, if you were, as I was saying, if you were a statue made out of concrete, I could easily push him over.
Right. But he's a bunch of tension and compression around a bunch of bones that can pull and push in all kinds of weird directions and change the vector of my force into an inopportune place for me.
Well, evidently.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
But, you know,
We both had some. Wait a minute.
What the fuck is this? I know. Me too. Me too. It gets weirder. It gets even weirder, man. And one of the guys I learned it from is about Joe's size, a little skinnier, and he'll do most of it standing on one foot. And I'm like, hey, come on, that's some bullshit. Come on, let me try. And he said, okay. And he stood on one foot. He walked me backward to the fucking wall like it wasn't nothing. It's some shit. It's weird. It's definitely weird. How's it going? When you're sideways, pull that way with this leg. Don't push from that leg. So if you let go of him suddenly, is he leaning at all? Not so much. That's good.
I'm working on being able to.
Right.
Because that's what he does.
Yeah. Eventually you can walk around like that.
Push hard.
I start kind of with the down and then I think.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Good. Love it.
It's not for us.
Well, okay. I push on you.
Good.
So
Yeah, that's.
when I push lateral, pull primarily from in here and pull toward me with that leg.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't feel it at all.
Kind of like you're doing that. Yeah, there we go.
Still. Oh, are you? Oh,
There we go.
that's excellent.
Good. Normally you would push from the back leg.
Yeah, right.
And you're just learning, the support structure should happen.
Right here.
You want something that's going to be almost coming from underneath me, so that the more I push, the more the vector makes me go up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Doing that if I let go of you.
That structure right there. Pull at me.
Put your consciousness.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
Take up.
Weird.
Think full.
Weird stuff.
I think you got it, dude.
I think he's got it. Looks like it to me. All right. Yeah.
Sideways, it's this foot pulling this way, right?
What's that?
When he's pushing on my side, it's this foot.
Which foot can I lift up?
Eventually you can lift either foot up. Eventually. Initially I need to be pulling from the lead side. So when he lets go, no lean. Eventually if I get this well, go ahead, give me. I can walk around and do it.
That's the weird shit.
That gets weird. Okay. That doesn't make any damn sense at all. I know. All righty. Cool. Cool. There's effects from the back, there's effects from the side that are a little more specialized. If you learn to pull your navel toward your lower part of your abdomen, so that when he pulls in here, somebody putting their hand on their low back will feel a feeling of pressure change and arch in the lumbar. If that's happening, and you can do that at will. Again, something you got to consciously learn to get in your head that's not normally a conscious thing that we learn to do. If that's happening, you find yourself really hard to throw backward, like in a shiroate, if you're sitting on the ground and he's pulling. So Ueshiba had a trick where he'd sit there and people would push on his head and they couldn't knock him over and they'd go flying, and then they'd come up behind him and put a rope around his head and try to pull him backward. The backward one is accomplished with this part of the anatomy back here. And you do have to get consciously controlled. And Brad, are you getting it? Okay, he's been working for a while. There's, and we can go over those sometime, but I want to just open it up for any questions. This stuff is radically counterintuitive, and as the two august judoka over here said, this shit can't possibly work, that's insane. I said, you're right, it can't possibly work. It makes no rational sense according to your normal default ways of operating your body. This is very specialized weirdness that you run into these weird old Chinese dudes or these strange old Japanese systems. And it has been preserved in the Japanese forms of Koru, hard and trained in Kotori Shinto as well as Daito Ryu. And he said that in the systems that he has examined in his research, most of them will have 2 or 3 parts of it. Very few have like 4 or 5. So they'll have incremental pieces of these activities. Cool? We'll do one more thing, which is we're going to take that up-down sensation we just had, the up-down, right? And I want you to focus on the exterior of your body and the interior, the core versus the exterior. So you see the dudes in Japan standing in the waterfalls doing misogi, getting their spiritual dose on, right? The waterfall. It's Fudo Myo, it's the immovable body, is what's tuned into there. Imagine you're standing in that waterfall and everything on the exterior of your body, all the sensations of water hitting you in the head and the shoulders and the body, everything's down. Down, 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 down. Water hitting you, thousands of drops of water hitting you, sinking down to your feet. At the same time, interior, core parts of your body, up. So you have an exterior, surface parts of your myofascial system concentrating on this downward sensation and really trying to fabricate that in your own nervous system, down, down, down. At the same time, up in the middle. The core stuff, going from your perineum up to the top of your head, all that stuff right up through the middle, okay? Just do that for a second. Just stand there and do this imaginal thing. Water falling up through the middle. Cool. Some systems, they say this is the easiest one. Now we're going to have our partner come and lift against what? Against this down. Now, is my body dropping? If you observe, am I in body drop now? Have I changed states? Here I am normal. Here I am in the down state with this interior going up. Doesn't seem like much. It's not body drop like we're used to seeing. He starts lifting on this thing though.
I want to pick you up.
Yeah, go ahead. If I tense my arms, go ahead. Oh, he lifts me. Arms relaxed, everything cool. I'm just concentrating on that up part. He gets under my elbows. Lift my elbows up, man. Drive them up. Oh, good man. Okay. Up and down. Go ahead.
I want to try again.
Bad boy. Come on. Sure. And what's weird is I don't feel a big change in pressure. I don't even get a big pressure differential in my elbows as he drives. The dropping function is happening on contact, and I don't feel like I'm pushing down. And in fact, if he falls out from under me violently, I don't have any sense of tipping, falling, going down with him. It's like you're the immovable dude, and he comes and pushes on it, and too bad for him. Guys who are really good at it, and I am not again, stand on one foot and do it. And they will alternate feet and walk your ass back to the wall. Which I thought, well, that's bullshit. And then I tried it with him and I went, fuck, it's real. Goddamn, this is strange. All right? Not quite there yet, but a lot of these effects eventually, you don't have to be standing still. You can stand still if you like. You can walk freely if you like. Cool? And again, body drop's happening, but not a body drop that he's normal used to. If I do this to him, he felt it. If I do it enough to him, I suspect he'll get sick of it. Yeah. He'll feel it. He'll say, fuck this. I don't want that anymore. The problem is he doesn't get those sensations here. And so he doesn't get the thing to read. Go ahead, lift me, kill me. He doesn't get the same information back. He doesn't get the loop that feeds into his system and says, this is how you beat this shit. If I pull on him down enough, step on his foot and drive him, stuff him in a corner, his nervous system will say, screw this pretty quick. Grapplers figure that out. You can't keep throwing the same damn throw all the time. Because they will what? They'll stop you. and you have to throw something else, right? This is weird shit because he doesn't get the signal to begin with. He gets a signal that doesn't make any sense when you're doing this right. It's still body drop. It's just happening from a completely different part of your anatomy. Cool? Try it. Try getting under the elbows. Oh, shit. Yeah, right. It's really weird. It's really weird. Just be normal, Joe. Cool. Yeah. I like that. I kicked his ass again. Ha ha ha. Shit. Very strange sensation. And again, no leaning. No big change in pressure down. If he feels pressure change there, I get to feel pressure change there. You feel like you lean a little bit? Yeah, I feel it too. If he does that, I'll kill him. When I put my hand there, I start to lift, and all it is that, and I get no pressure change, he's getting in the zone. Cool? Try it a little bit. I'll stop there. Up and down like the waterfall. All right, the amount of muscle tension when these are correct is comparable to a yawn. The amount of muscular tension of actual shift, what's doing the job of changing things up in your anatomy, about like a yawn. If you are exerting more power at any point than a yawn, you suck. That's just it. You got to learn to do this with this minimalist torsion between 2 points of your body. Cool? You want to take all the extra force out of it. And again, to engage this down is not like down like Kong. It's like a yawn. That's why he can't feel it. If I'm pushing down, if I even got it cool, but I'm adding extra pressure at my elbow, his nervous system gets a whole big sense of that. It gets a lot of stuff to react to. If this is happening, he doesn't get that. And if I can control the pressure well, I get to ride it and do funny things with it, which is that pressure change off thing. Cool? Okay. More tomorrow, but now we're going to do some more judo. Well, any questions first? Okay. Yeah.
How do you turn this? Is that what we're doing tomorrow into something else?
Yeah, I'm going to do more tomorrow.
I think it means like how do you add it to your judo or your aikido?
Yeah. You do a whole bunch of it. You do a whole bunch of it, and eventually you start getting a default shift. So if my normal default is to do the flying buttress to push on him, the default starts shifting into being, no, I think I'll do the pulling from the front leg to deliver that force instead. We've spent years going, bam, hitting him with that foot. But what's it like to hit him with this foot? Different. And you say, well, this breaks all the rules. Well, Carl had a great statement, didn't he? Follow all the damn rules all the time, period, and the exceptions will make themselves known to you. I took that as my starting place for research in Kazushin. And I said, what the hell are these exceptions he's talking about? And what the hell's going on in them? And how the hell can he stand there and not move around and kick everybody's ass? Well, he's moving around, he's just moving where he's standing. Well, yeah, sort of. That's internal again. If you're doing it so small they can't see it, that's internal again. Cool? And I don't think he hit it or anything. It's just it didn't fit easily into the teachable paradigm that he was using. And so he kind of left it off to the side. Tomiki did too. But he obviously had the skill sets. There's stories of Mr. Tomiki going to the Kodokan saying, here, I'm just going to hold my arm out. Y'all Kinshusei bad boys, just tear this arm off, do whatever you want to it. And he was immovable. And then he would make a little gesture and they'd fly through the damn air. Well, that's typical of the kind of thing you run into at a hardened seminar. But it's not typical for a normal Aikido school or judo school at all. But Hal Sharp's the one that told that story, actually. Yeah. We thought, oh, fuck, he's going to teach kata. But instead, he did this stuff. And then he said, yeah, not many people need to really invest in this, but it's part of the deal. Anyhow, more tomorrow, and in the meantime, John, are you up? Sure. John has some cool judo for you, so thank you all.